Neagley steals Reacher's best line from the book in Season 3's finale and makes it sound even better. Neagley steals one of Jack Reacher's best lines from the original Lee Child books in Reacher Season 3 and, surprisingly, makes it sound even better. Since Reacher Season 3 adapts Lee Child's Persuader, it was initially not expected to feature Neagley as one of its characters. In the original book, Neagley does not help Reacher with his overarching undercover operation at all. However, given how Neagley showed up even in Reacher Season 1's ending moments despite not being a part of Lee Child's killing floor, her appearance in Season 3 was not surprising. Interestingly, although Reacher Season 3 significantly drifts away from its source material to add Neagley to its roster, her role does not feel forced. Instead, her story comes off as a natural extension of the original narrative, perfectly paving the way for her upcoming spin-off series. With another major book change, Reacher Season 3 gives one of Jack Reacher's lines to Neagley, which reveals a lot about her relationship with the Alan Ritchson character. Neagley's "hate the big guy" line from Season 3's ending is Reacher's in the original book. In Reacher Season 3's finale, Neagley claims to have finally figured Reacher out. She reveals that Reacher does not necessarily punish the bad guys to set things right or to protect the little guy. He does it because he hates the big, powerful sons of BHS who think they can just get away with things. Toward the final moments of Persuader's story, Jack Reacher recalls saying the exact same line to Dominique Cole when she asked him why he does what he does. Even though Reacher is more of an anti-hero and not always driven by the right reasons, he manages to keep himself morally sound by channeling his dark tendencies in the right direction. Realizing that Reacher's sense of justice has less to do with morality and more with a deep-rooted hate against abuse of power, Cole says, "You produce the right results for the wrong reasons then." Just like Reacher agrees with Neagley's insight in Season 3, he nods to Cole's statement in the book by saying that he tries to do the right thing and the reasons do not matter. These similar interactions highlight how, even though Reacher is more of an anti-hero and not always driven by the right reasons, he manages to keep himself morally sound by channeling his dark tendencies in the right direction. Neagley's Season 3 line proves she knows Reacher more than he knows himself. When Neagley drops the line in Reacher Season 3's finale, Jack Reacher smiles and jokes that it took her a long time to figure him out. Although Reacher tries to play it off with humor, Neagley's insights seem to help him better understand himself and his motives. Almost throughout Reacher Season 3, the Alan Ritchson character was purely driven by his hunger for revenge. He would not have teamed up with the D agents if their undercover mission had not allowed him to avenge Cole's death by killing Quinn. Prime Video's Reacher has done a remarkable job bringing Lee Child's iconic vigilante to life on screen, especially when it comes to faithfully adapting memorable lines from the books. But in Season 3's finale, something unexpected and surprisingly effective happened. Frances Neagley, Reacher's trusted friend and fellow XMP, steals one of Reacher's most iconic lines from the source material, and somehow, she makes it even better. This clever switch wasn't just a nod to fans of the novels. It also elevated Neagley's character in a way that honors her deep bond with Reacher while reinforcing the series' shift toward ensemble storytelling. And for longtime fans, the moment felt like lightning in a bottle, a perfect blend of familiarity and surprise. The line that started it all. The line in question hails from Persuader, one of Lee Child's most action-packed Reacher novels. In the book, Reacher faces down an opponent with his signature calm, deadly resolve and delivers the line like a hammer blow, "I don't want to put you in the hospital. I want to put you in the morgue." It's a classic Reacherism, chilling, stoic, and imbued with the kind of primal justice that defines the character. Fans of the books know that Reacher doesn't posture. When he says something like that, it's not a threat, it's a guarantee. It's also the kind of line that instantly defines who's in control of a situation. Normally, it's Reacher. But in Season 3's finale, the show does something bold. Neagley's moment to shine. In the final confrontation, when the team corners one of the key villains who's betrayed them, tensions run high. Neagley, usually the quiet, tactical presence beside Reacher, steps forward with a cold glare. And just as the villain tries to bluff his way out, Neagley cuts in with razor precision and says, "You think we came here to hurt you? We didn't. We came to bury you." It's not a word-for-word lift from Persuader, but the spirit of the line is unmistakable. The writers clearly remixed Reacher's line, swapping morgue for burial, hospital for hurting, but kept the same blunt finality. The effect? Neagley owns the moment. It's not Reacher's growl that chills the room, it's Neagley's ice-cold precision. And fans noticed. On social media, Reacher followers instantly drew comparisons to the original quote. But many argued Neagley's version was even better, less theatrical, more tactical, and completely in character. Why it works? What makes this scene so satisfying is how organically it fits into Neagley's evolution over the past 3 seasons. In the books, she's competent, loyal, and always has Reacher's back. But on screen, Alan Ritchson's Reacher has often loomed so large that other characters can feel dwarfed by his presence. Season 3 began to shift that balance, giving Neagley more moments of leadership and emotional resonance. The finale cements her as more than just Reacher's right hand, she's his equal in many ways. By letting her deliver his line, the show signals that Neagley isn't just a support act. She's a force unto herself. She doesn't borrow Reacher's voice, she adapts it. And in doing so, she reclaims a bit of the mythos for herself. A subtle role reversal. The decision to give Neagley the line also plays into the season's deeper themes. Throughout Season 3, Reacher has wrestled with the weight of leadership. He's no longer a lone wolf. With his former unit back together, the burden of command, something Reacher always tries to avoid, presses in. But Neagley, cool under pressure and fiercely loyal, naturally steps into that space when needed. By the finale, Reacher doesn't need to dominate every room or deliver every threat. He trusts Neagley. When she speaks, it's with the implicit authority of someone who has earned it over years of shared missions and mutual respect. Letting her take the spotlight is less a surrender of Reacher's identity and more a reflection of his growth. Fan service, but smarter. Too often, shows that adapt beloved books fall into the trap of shoehorning in fan-favorite lines with little regard for tone or timing. Reacher has mostly avoided that pitfall. And here, the writers show real finesse. Rather than giving Reacher a line that viewers might expect, they redirect it to Neagley and make it land even harder. It's a reward for viewers who followed Neagley's quiet competence since Season 1. It's also a subtle message that Reacher is more than just one man's story. It's a shared legacy. Maria Sten's delivery seals it. Of course, none of this would have worked without Maria Sten's performance. As Neagley, she's walked a tightrope, playing a character who is calm, efficient, and mostly emotionless on the surface, but deeply principled beneath. Sten's delivery of that line is surgical. There's no anger, no posturing. Just quiet certainty. It's the kind of moment that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. It also reminds us that Neagley isn't just the woman on Reacher's team. She's someone with her own code, her own scars, and her own way of dealing with danger. When she echoes Reacher's iconic line, it's not mimicry, it's evolution. What it means for Season 4. This scene might also set the stage for bigger things ahead. With each season,